I'm going to call this meeting to order of the EDC at 5:32. And I'm sure that Sylvia is stuck in traffic, so when she's here, she'll be able to sit down and just kind of pick up wherever we start. Kathy is absent because she is working the parade for the homecoming. And Mary is absent because she is not feeling very well. But we have a quorum, so we're going to be able to go ahead and proceed. Right. Would anyone like to do the invitation, or do you want me to do it? All right, let's go ahead and stand. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all that you have given us. We ask for you to keep everyone safe at the homecoming parade and through the traffic as they come in the surrounding area. Please bless our city and bless this board so that we may do the things that are good for our community and for our fellow citizens. In your name, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so I'll go through the announcements. Billy's Beer and Wine is our October business of the month. And again, if everybody takes the time to go to the City of West Tawakoni EDC Facebook page, you'll see the pictures there. And then we always put the picture also as business of the month on our website within the city. The Bingo Congregate Meals for Seniors is going to continue. However, this month it is moving to Lakeside Church, and they're going to hold it on October 15th at the same time that it's been. The Lake Tawakoni Regional Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneurial Showcase, which was scheduled to occur on November 1st, has now been moved. It's been postponed to next spring. Hey, Sylvia, come on in.
Sorry.
That's okay. We know that traffic was horrible.
Yeah, I keep thinking that, keep forgetting that Quillen has traffic.
Particularly worse today because of all the construction and the school buses were coming out. So, but I know you catch up by looking on YouTube too when you do this, so that's we're good on that. What the chamber said is that they don't, even though we have 5 businesses here that I talked to who had planned on signing up, only one had signed up, and they hadn't had any businesses from other areas. So they want to postpone it to the spring where they can get more businesses to actually, sign on and have a really good way to show the different businesses that are coming in. But everyone that qualifies now will also qualify for that. So there won't be any kind of cutoff where they say, oh, well, you've been operating for a year, so now you can't apply. All of those businesses are going to be able to apply. The Lake Tawakoni Library is going to hold the Workforce Commission job event this month on October 29th from 11 to 1. And the focus is going to be troubleshooting for job training. So anyone who's having some trouble getting a job, trouble with their resumes, they're going to sit down and work with them one-on-one to help them with that. Trunk or Treat will be held Thursday, October 31st from 6 to 9 in the city park by our police department and our city. So our police department and city government does that. The fire department is also doing a trick or treat at the same time, starting at 5 I think to 8:30.
It'll be at both locations.
Fire department.
Same as last year,
Yes. The fire department is planning on doing both locations. National Night Out is October 7th from 6 to 9 o'clock. Keep West Tawakoni Beautiful will host the city's cleanup event from 8 until noon, until all the bins are full on October 18th. The QISD Educational Foundation Golf Tournament will be over here at Deer Run on October 17th. And so people who want to sign up for that need to go to the QISD Educational Foundation or reach out to Tiffany Chapman who puts that on. And then the library is also going to do a yard sale on October 18th. Does anyone else have any other announcements?
we have a spot here where we add in maybe, what we want to talk about. I know we can't talk about items we have in projects. Is there a spot to where I can say, oh, next month I want to talk about this?
Yes, that's going to be, well, you just tell me and we'll put it on.
Okay.
We'll put it on the
City
agenda.
Park. Everything we do is City Park.
All right, well, actually, we have City Park discussion on number 9. All right, there are no citizens here, so there's none on citizens input. So we'll move on to the consent agenda. The approval of the EDC minutes for September 8th. You want to look through those real quick. We also have minutes from the public hearing. Approval of the bank statement for September. And approval of bills paid and to be paid. So as y'all guys look at the bank statement, I will go through bills paid and to be paid by going and picking up that check folder that I set it back in here for the city. But one of the great things that we have been doing, and I want to thank all of you guys, because as a board, I said this at the HCA luncheon on Thursday, I really feel blessed. We really are moving very quickly and we're doing a lot of stuff. So, you know, the bills that we've paid will tell you some about what we have been doing as well. Everyone knows that we pay Lee the $500 for her attorney fees. Sylvia, I have your check for $100 for secretarial fees. Please don't let me forget that when you leave. We have the canopy that was purchased, the pens, we needed to order 500 more brochures because we ran out of brochures. Tin Cup Liquors today received their facade grant of $2,500.
Very good.
I'll post that picture on our Facebook page tomorrow. And then we had a wonderful event with the Cotton Patch Challenge that we donated for and sponsored. And again, I'm always surprised when people come by and I think, well, I don't know if this is really great in terms of the marketing and everything at this kind of event. And it turned out to be great. I had at least 5 different people take city brochures, ask for information about our fishing guide services, ask for information about where to stay if they come. I had a couple that always fish on Lake Louisville, and they asked me, well, is this lake stocked? And I said, yes, we're the catfish capital of Texas out here. We got catfish, we got bass, we got crappie. And so they took that brochure for them to turn around and come out here and do some fishing. And then I had one gentleman who wants to live on the lake and had no idea where he could find some property. And so I directed him to Wichita Bay Estates so that he could contact them and see about getting a house and a lot down there. So again, you know, I was wrong. It turned out to be a very exciting event and very good for us because I also had a couple of people say, oh, are we in West Tawakoni? So when they're riding those bikes, they don't even look at those city limit signs. And the building itself just says Chamber of Commerce. And the other people who've always been there to host are the Rotary. And, you know, so the Rotary is there. And, you know, they've got stuff set up, but they didn't have anything that said this is the city of West Tawakoni. So we kind of represented very well. And
I wish I could say, do we have a Rotary?
yeah, there's a Rotary.
No.
So,
I used to be part of the Rotary. It's like
one of the bills to be paid will be the Snacks on Wheels catering that happened for the Big Barbecue Challenge on last Thursday. And I really appreciate, you know, you being there, Casey, and you being able to be there. Larry, I know you couldn't. Well, you had other very important things to do. You had the veterans coming in, so you were committed. And Cindy, you have to work. You got to have a job to pay the bills. But that event was absolutely amazing. Our Snacks on Wheels won Best Barbecue. They got a great big trophy that said first place. They were the best barbecue of South Hunt County.
Wow. I didn't have to be biased. It just was.
It was. It really was. And it was a huge event. So we had over 73 people present for that luncheon. we had, our state representative Brent Money came. We had all the individuals, the attorneys who are running for our county judges, and for Judge Andy Bench is not rerunning. He's going to go ahead and retire from that seat. So we had both of those candidates there. Gary Smith and his wife, our Hunt County Commissioner, was there. The people from Greenville showed up. It was a pretty impressive event.
Wow.
And very good for the city of West Washington. So they got a chance to know that Chris Burkett is our acting mayor and that we're moving forward with all of our development. And I got to see the pictures and the information about the hotel coming in, the strip mall. And I think they were all extremely impressed and pleased with what our city is doing.
I thought it was great too, and I kept whispering in his ear, so I better mention it now. But the way they're growing and so forth, it's crazy. They have to be very close to capacity already at the post office.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so they're not going to survive any of the stuff they're talking about in that current location. So they're either going to move or they're going to have to drop some of their routes. I don't know if we need to start thinking about that. Same thing for a school.
Well, I have a feeling that with the post office, the likelihood is really, really low. They're going to do anything, put it down here. But in terms of the school, the Quinlan ISD presentation showed that the school is gaining 100 students a year minimum. We've got a huge development coming in the poetry. It's the Hunt County side. It's like 2,000 homes. Those children will all go into Quinlan ISD. We're growing, those kids go in. And so they're eventually going to have to do something about building some new schools. And at that point, then, we're going to hope they come kind of down this way. But
at that time, we might have enough growth to actually say, this way.
But in terms on the bill to be paid, the catering costs that will be paid to Snacks on Wheels for that wonderful meal is $500. Okay, and then that will pay us up on that.
And you did a great job of the presentation representing West Washington.
Yeah, you
So
did.
an excellent job.
Most complete by
Thank
far.
you. Thank you. I
Very
appreciate
complete.
that.
Very complete.
So do we have any questions about the bills to be paid or have been paid or the bank statement or the minutes?
I'm still trying to learn this. So I do have one question. Just 2 large checks went out for Edwin Cotton. What is Edwin Cotton and what does that represent?
Yes, Edward Cotton we make the check out to Edward Cotton because he is the person, he's not the main contractor. The main contractor is John English and his company. And then Edwin is the person who works with him, and they're the ones who do the repairs on the EDC building.
Okay.
So that originally we had accepted the bid of $10,000 to get all the internal work done, but we had to add an additional $1,000 on it because, as you know, and you'll see, we're going to do like a field trip down there. As you know, there are 2 separate buildings, and the roof on the old building that was not repaired, there's a new roof placed on one side previously about a year and a half ago. And then, but the other side of the roof was not replaced. They just tied into it. Well, there were spaces in it and all of that metal. So you could see where the sunlight was coming in. And they were like, we're not going to put the insulation down and we're not going to repair and replace these ceilings and what we're doing in here until that gets repaired. So you got a choice.
Yeah.
We can do it for you, for $1,000 and we can get that roof all sealed up. Or you can, reach out and find a roof contractor and do it. So I contacted Mary. It was in our budget. We approved it, and we got the roof repaired. So the building is up and running. And
Exciting.
we will go at the end of today and do kind of a field trip, and everybody can look in it and see what's been done there. The important thing is we have posted that. It'll be a possible quorum because we'll be in the building, and that is posted with our agenda. However, there will be no discussion whatsoever about what we do with the building, and no business will be conducted in it. It'll just be a sightseeing tour, and you talk about anything but EDC business.
Sure.
Okay. All right. That being said, do I have a motion to approve the EDC minutes, bank statement for September, and approval of bills paid and to be paid?
Make a motion.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. All right, now we'll go to number 7, the profit loss, action on profit loss statement for September. And as I said, Mary is not feeling well today, so she's not here, and she's the best person to ask questions about this. But when I talked to her, she said everything is going well in terms of we finished the fiscal year September 30th. Never went over budget, managed everything that we needed to, and we have extra money left over. So Chair would entertain a motion to accept the profit loss statement.
I think motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Now we'll go to number 8, discuss and or take action to determine financial grant amount for the slide grant to be awarded and limit the grants to 4 per fiscal year. So Casey, I have you down to present on this because you're going to spend some time thinking about it and putting some ideas together for us.
I did. I'm gonna pass these around. Okay. Just a couple. Pass them down, see what's left over. I used the driest paper at the time, just for you. So as we were discussing this last month before, whenever that was, the idea of a business owner potentially wanting to put $100,000 into something that beautifies that business, and the EDC only having a cap at 2,500 seemed like not a lot of incentive coming from us. So I think it's important for our city to promote that, because even like what Tin Cup has just done, like it's a major, upgrade, and just with good businesses bring more good businesses, right? Nobody wants to bring their business to a town that looks like it's needing a major facelift. So what I proposed was to have a scaled grant structure, and I have it listed out here just basically based on the total project cost. And it does cap at each one, but just say a total project was in the 2,500 to 10,000 range all in. We would give a grant of up to 25%, and which would be the max grant of 2,500. Any project from 10,000 to 25,000 would qualify for up to 20%, or a $5,000 max cap. 25 to 50,000 would be a 15%, 7,500 max on our part, and then 50,000 plus 10% with a max cap at 10,000. But furthermore, just a system that helps us decide what businesses we want to, how a business would qualify for that. So I came up with kind of a scoring system, and it allows us to put a point structure to it. And as we grow and as more business owners come in and take over lease or purchase some of these older buildings, the demand is going to go up, and obviously we're going to have a budget we have to stay within. So maybe we put some kind of period in to where we take applications for grants between X and X. We go through as a group and grade the proposal, and then we decide where we want that money to go. So this grading system would allow us to base it on the impact to the community. So it'd be a visual impact would gain basically 30 points. And how noticeable would that transformation be to the community? The community benefit would hold 30 points. Does it improve safety, ADA compliance, historic preservation, example? The investment level, how much private money is coming into it. So if they're not willing to put in X amount, then we wouldn't be obligated to match. That holds 20 points. And then readiness, we want things that are going to give us the impact year of, if possible. And so is it going to be shovel ready within, and likely to be completed within 12 months? So at the bottom, there's just a quick example. So if a business proposed a 75,000 renovation, maybe brick veneer, ADA compliance, new awnings, then we would go through, score it, just say visual impact 28 out of 30, community benefit 25 out of 30, investment level 20 out of 20, meaning they're going to put in a large sum of their own money. Readiness 15 out of 20, they plan to get the ball rolling quickly. That'd give a total score of 88 out of 100. So that'd be a strong candidate for a grant up to $7,500. But say if we had I don't remember what we put in for budget this year, but say if we had a $50,000 total budget, that would allow us to look at all businesses and then us decide, rather than just maybe we know somebody that owns that business, or it kind of takes the buddy system deal out of it and gives us some true way to score, put a number on it, and then if they qualify, if they don't, then they don't. But that's a proposed outline, wide open
You want some feedback?
for feedback.
This is absolutely gold.
I
So
think so too.
Not only in concept, but in the way it was displayed, so can I just say yes?
so open any feedback, I'll take it, run with it, and make any modifications.
No,
but
I,
that's
no,
just
it's actually, I thought about
a
this
rough
something similar a couple times. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. This was what I was kind of,
And
at
it's,
least something more than the 2,500.
and it's consistent with what the EDC has done over the years. So I think we've had, like, Karen Houston owns a lot of properties around here, and she owned the apartment complex. And so she received grants, I think, that actually went up to $30,000 for the work she did on the facade of that and some of the other work that she did on some of the buildings out here. So the EDC historically has kind of done something, but like you notice, with the grant program, facade grant, with it being limited to 2,500, it didn't really apply to what she wanted. So it had to be something kind of specially done each time. Whereas this would give us a standard way to do it and would allow us, I mean, at most what you're looking at is, let's say that we had, top big projects come in and ask for this. At most on a fiscal year, we're still only looking at $40,000.
Right.
And
Maximum.
putting the maximum of $40,000 in, we will have to adjust the budget at the next meeting.
And that's, but
So we
if we're
can do
putting in
that.
40,000, that means the town is putting in 200,000 to make the town get better.
So the businesses are, yeah.
I call that a win.
I would entertain you guys to study the how it's graded, make sure that that is acceptable, and then the thinking about if one business like Tin Cup, that was a huge renovation, and they could have definitely been able to apply for the 50,000 plus, which would be up to a $10,000 max grant. That's a huge chunk of an overall budget. So then we've got to think about, okay, well, how much can we set aside, or will we set aside? That way, just 2 or 3 or 4 big projects don't suck up the whole deal. But
No, but
if you have, like I say, if you have,
have we gone through our next one already? Are we done with the budget? I know I missed most of it.
Yeah, but it's done.
if we're putting in 40,000 and they're meeting the qualifications on the larger scale, you're talking about somebody's putting in 400,000, 360,000, we're putting in 40. So that's some major money being dumped into.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, and we all know,
I actually like your scoring system.
I do too.
I don't see any improvement off the top of my head.
And we all know that we've got businesses that are gonna, if they're gonna reopen some of these businesses that are closed right now, they're gonna need assistance with those facelifts.
Definitely.
We're talking about Fat Cats or Gilligan's. Then you've got businesses out there like King's Marine. They do all the work on our boats. I love King's Marine. I love the work that they do. And I'm looking at their building and I'm like, please, let's upgrade your building and make sure this stays open. So having something like this, I think, makes it kind of worthwhile for them to turn around and come to us. So it looks great to me. Cindy, you have any questions? All right.
Fantastic job. Thank you. Fantastic.
Well, the chair would entertain a motion to accept Casey's proposal.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna take yours.
Here's some extras.
Oh, thank you. Get Mary to start the process of putting that together and double check our budget. All right, so on to item, discuss and or take action regarding improvements and or repairs on equipment or structures in the city of West Walkeny Public Park. There you go, Rhett.
Where do I begin? Okay, let's just start with keeping it clean. Okay, so I know it's part of the city. They used to have a park manager, which I haven't seen one there over a year. I don't know what's going on there. We were supposed to have a park committee, which I've heard nothing about. And lot of trash that I am tired of picking out, because I go there once or twice a day out to the point with my dogs. It's just like, you know, you go out there, I don't know how much trash I pick out of that place, but it's like, you know, it'd be nice if I put it or not worry about it. That's number one. Number two, they already talked about, okay, for me, it's always a big deal. If you're gonna have leash laws, you better have a dog park. You can't have one except the dogs need to run, they need to socialize. And if you're trying to teach them to socialize on a leash, then you're doing it wrong. Okay, so you need dog park. Dude, I heard from Mike, but Mike is now gone. He put a lot of work into trimming up all that undergrowth all along the lake, down to the point. The plans were, and I haven't seen the plans, but I told there were plans to invest in a frisbee golf. Where are all these projects? I've been hearing this for years. None of these cost much money for the improvements. Dog park right next to the basketball field. You finish the rest of that off right there, you got a dog park. Pick up the trash, frisbee golf, not a lot of money.
It's tetherball right now because there's no hoops. So,
But I always see a kid out there skating with this little GoPro on him.
Well, and I think the thing that we also all notice is we are having problems keeping the basketball. The nets are always torn up. There's always a problem with that. And we've got the playground equipment that the playground needs to be redone. I mean, it's really whatever they would have underneath there for safety of the kids. It's not safe anymore, and the equipment is not safe.
I have a suggestion on that too. Notes. You probably don't need something so fancy, less, and extremely durable, old school style. They can last. None of that stuff's gonna last out there in the sun.
No, but they do have. I mean, there's requirements now that changes what kind of things you're allowed to put in or not put in.
I'm sure we can put a slide in a swing.
So here's
I hope.
here's the situation that we have where the park is concerned. The city is the entity, the government entity responsible for taking care of the park. The people who are assigned to do the cleanliness, clean the bathrooms, and keep the park assigned are in our public works department. And they operate, I understand, under JD. So JD is the boss and makes sure that gets done. And then he reports to Mary Chumley, the city secretary, who acts as the administrator. The city council has passed and approved putting together another park board. No one has applied to join that board.
Oh, really?
So the first thing that I would suggest and recommend to everyone here and to the citizens of our city, and to let people know, is contact the city and see about applying and being on the park board. The city has put out and posted a position for city administrator. City council would like to hire another person kind of at the top of the structure to be in the city administrator's role. And then the city secretary would report to the city administrator, etc. So while I agree with you, Red, on all these things, I don't think all these things are what the EDC, an Economic Development Corporation, wants to take on or do.
Well,
Our budget,
I just want to clarify that though, right?
yeah.
Because part of our mission statement is creating an environment to attract businesses. I don't think anything on that list doesn't qualify under that statement. I mean, so yeah, okay, but I mean, the frisbee golf, debatable, but
one
keeping
of,
it clean.
well, one of the
We're the
problems.
catfish capital of the world, and we got a lot of garbage.
But one of the problems is if we're going to keep it clean, then you're talking about actually hiring staff or hiring a company in addition to what the city's supposed to be doing to get out there and do the work.
Or maybe.
Or if we're not careful, city council will say, oh, that sounds great. EDC is going to do that. So EDC will then cut a check to the city that then help pay for the people in JD's department to do the cleanliness. So we don't want to get into a situation where we're stepping into city government role. Now, I will tell you that when there's an event at the park, the people in our public works department, in my opinion, do a terrific job getting up there and cleaning that up for every event. And so even like when we had the Catfish Festival in the park,
Yes.
the Catfish Festival in the park, I used the public bathroom in the park, and I was okay with it. And I'm pretty picky, okay?
You should
But
be.
but in between times, I recognize that we get enough complaints about that. So maybe I would say on a lot of that, we want to kind of wait and let city council take it on and let
So if
the
there- so
new
if
city
there's some
administrator.
synergy to be created here, it sounds like it'd be between two different areas that, and I get the reason for not wanting to, not want to be careful because again, guess what, a fishing pole, not poking the fish, right?
Well, and if you put your money into the park, then things like putting your money into businesses can't occur because we don't have that much money.
So this again is where I think about synergy within the city, because we got a lot of little committees, so keep Tawakoni beautiful, maybe just contact them and also work. So I didn't know that we didn't have anyone on that park committee. So
Right.
when's the meeting? That was just passed, didn't it?
Well, the city council meeting is the second Tuesday of every
So
month,
second
7:00.
Yeah.
So
Tomorrow.
a good thing to do is, to go tomorrow and citizens input, bring that up and address the council about that.
I will.
And then,
Okay.
kind of list out those things.
Okay.
Now, one of the things that we did talk about as being able to do pretty quickly for the city is to step in and maybe adopt one of the worst pavilions and the repair on that pavilion.
Mhm.
So there's one pavilion when you go into the park to the right-hand side, it's the largest pavilion. It's got a shingle roof. It's right behind the EDC
And that's
building.
the one they rent out for parties and so forth, at least what I see the most.
And that's the one that seems to have the most damage. So looking at the other pavilions, they all look okay. They really don't look to me like they need to have any major work. But that one there right at the front needs to have some major work, or my understanding, what I'm hearing from various people, is that if we don't do something about it, the cost of repairing it is going to be
Much more.
much more.
That's a good idea.
David
more of a-
actually went and looked at this pavilion.
Okay. So David had put in a bid, you mentioned last month, about before to the city to repair them, and had given a bid for that. So he went and he looked at all of those, and what did he find? What was his opinion?
He said that, well, the one when you first moved here, just like this, really, really bad. And so he went and looked at that, and he looked at all the other ones. There's another pavilion out there that's really bad when you turn down that one road. It's a shingle roof too. And he said that, and both of those, he said, really needs to be replaced. But the main, and then he went and looked at all the other ones. The metal buildings, he said they need to be power washed real bad, and cleaned up. There's some fasteners missing and stuff. Those need to be replaced. Some holes in them that needs to be fixed. That's about it.
Just minor details.
He
Just
said
to
the
keep it
metal
up.
ones need to be cleaned up real good. Fasteners need to be put on them.
Because just like this weekend, I had 30 people come in this weekend to Peninsula Ranch, and I took them. They were all from Colorado, Montana, Syracuse, like that, New York, and I took them all around, and they just can't believe that we have such a beautiful park in a little town like we have. That we have such a beautiful entity. I took them down the dirt road, showed them the fishing spots and the pier and the point, and they just said, "Boy, it's so nice, a little tiny town, and you have such a beautiful park."
Yeah.
Winter
So-
chicken dinner.
Huh?
Winter chicken dinner.
So I think a lot of what Rhett is talking about are ways to improve the park. I think that the conversation last time was more to how do we preserve the assets that the park already has, to where it doesn't end up deteriorating with more cost, and it's an eyesore currently. So sounds like that's what the proposed is for preservation of the two wooden structures, the roof, a little bit of fascia rod on the one that I saw. I just did a drive by that wasn't a walk up and really scope it out. If something's not done with those, it's going to become from a repair to needing to be major repair or even replaced. And we build those for a living. Those structures are high. So it's a minor repair now that can lead to major cost down the road. Brett, I think all the other ideas are really cool. And
You're in contracting as well?
I'll divert that conversation.
Maybe I should have asked that later.
But no, I agree. The park's awesome. And just a few things to kind of keep it held together. And then I think you're on the right track with letting the park committee be the kind of the head of, we need to add this, whatever else. But because that could easily be our baby if we keep.
And I will
moving
go
in
in
that direction.
tomorrow. And I will try, but I will definitely do this week. I will go pressure wash the buildings.
Be awesome.
And if there's a park committee, there's starting to be more and more money moved to the area. Everybody loves to have their name on something, maybe go for some private money. Say, hey, we get a couple $100,000 donation, get your name on the park sign, and we're looking for all of these amenities.
I was a sports promoter for 3 years, so I know how to go look for those too.
So it sounds to me like, and we keep talking about these pavilions, that there are two pavilions in particular that have shingle roofs, and that those are the two that need to have immediate attention.
Mhm.
So what do you think about us adopting this?
I think yes.
I like that idea.
All right. So the chair will entertain a motion to obtain and offer the city, because I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking how to say this. The city actually owns that park. The EDC does not. So we can't just go in that park and repair those pavilions. We have to have city council agree to that and the city be on board with that. So I think our motion would be to approve obtaining bids and offer the city our financial assistance in repairing the two pavilions with the shingles.
How was it proposed when the bathroom door situation came out? Seems like we're in a similar scenario. It's just fixing and protecting an asset that's within the park.
The
that we
city
paid for.
came to the
They came to us
EDC and
for it.
asked for the money.
I would promote that conversation.
And I'm sure the city council will do that. They've had a lot on their plate.
Sure.
So, but what will happen is if we make the motion to approve obtaining bids and offer the city our financial assistance to repair the two pavilions with shingle roofs, that can be presented to city council. We can already approve that, and then city council can accept or deny that.
Sure.
And we know they're going to accept it. I mean, let's be honest about that.
So, real
Just so we
quickly,
do it
how
appropriately.
much money are we talking about before we go out and make an offer? What was the average? What was the estimate?
Well, he gave an estimate on that one pavilion, it's really bad. And on that one, it's 39. And that's with the 30-year shingles.
Okay. So can he do a metal roof?
Mhm.
All right. So
Let me ask him about that, because he said something because of how that building is. I've heard him today.
okay, because we'll want to look at metal or shingle
Let
as
me
well.
get with him.
Okay. Well, and the bids need to come in from various people. So when we open it up for that, but again, different than the EDC building, this one is going to take us, 2 months. So, and since we'll be offering financial assistance, we've got to have Mary here to look at the budget to see what's there, and if that can go under infrastructure in terms of what we moved over into the infrastructure. If it can go under infrastructure, by definition, we have enough money set aside to be able to do that.
Does the city have any money?
Yeah.
Oh, do they? Okay. Maybe we should ask the paper half. If they do.
Okay,
Donald Trump,
okay,
let's make a deal.
all right. Then here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking what we need is a motion to table this until I get with city council and the city government and see how they would like this to proceed. Because now we've got a complex situation where I'm thinking, again, the park belongs to the city. We don't want to step on the city's toes. And we want to work with them kind of in conjunction with them. And with Mary, that's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a member of city government on our board and why Mary is so invaluable being here.
And don't get me wrong, if they say no, I'm still gonna do it. It's just like the rose in our.
You just want to make it difficult. No,
No,
I'm kidding.
I just want to get the money back that my HOA put $10,000 in for and got like no return on.
Okay, all right. So,
Gotta teach these guys a little responsibility.
all right, I tell you what, how about, can we make a motion for me to go ahead and obtain bids to repair the 2 shingles?
Yeah, I don't think we need to risk them to obtain bids.
Well, I do because it's a government entity, so I can't just go get bids unless it's, you guys as directors say go get bids. I don't operate on my own.
They have to approve you getting bids.
No, you have to
Oh,
approve me.
I think it's 100%
Okay,
worth
motion.
getting bids.
I make a motion.
There you go.
Bids for both pavilions.
Second the motion.
All right, all in favor of that one?
Aye.
Aye. Larry seconded it. So Sylvia, did you get what the motion was? The motion is just for the EDC to get bids on the 2 pavilions with shingle roofs. Okay. All right, now we'll go to number 10. Discuss and or take action regarding 1300 or Highway 276 building and property. At this point, I know we were going to talk about, you were going to reach out and talk to a realtor. So I'm gonna have you present on that next meeting about what we do where that's concerned.
Sure.
I think we just need to, everyone needs to see the building as it currently is. And we can't do anything with the building until we get it under the city's insurance. So right now we're working on getting the company that does the insurance to schedule one of their adjusters to come out here and look at the building and see what we can do about getting that under insurance.
Sure.
Okay, so Chair would entertain a motion to take no action on the building across the street.
I'll
I
make
make a motion that we, take no action on the building. I'm sorry.
No, you were rolling. Take it away.
If you want a
The
second,
building, the building across the street and get it checked up and see what's needed.
awesome.
I'll second that motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, and so the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn at 6:15. I'll make that motion myself.
All righty, I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
All right, let's
I make
go.
a motion, we open the meeting, reopen the meeting. Is
Deny.
that okay?
Good night.
Any